Listen, I hope y'all WNBA players is paying attention. They will replace y'all asses. They have Caitlin Clark. They have Paige Beckers under contract. They have Angel Reese. They have replacement players they can go get. They have a slew of rookies they are about to draft.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching the single most powerful karma moment in professional sports history, and it is unfolding right in front of us on national television. For the last 2 years, we have watched WNBA veterans, the so-called leaders of the game, carry out a coordinated effort of ugly tactics, envy, and petty sabotage aimed at Caitlin Clark. They tried to rough her up physically on the court. They tried to wear her down mentally through the media. They even tried to block her from the Olympic team. They believed that if they made her life miserable enough, they could dull her shine and keep their stranglehold on the league. But today, the bill has come due, and the price is everything they own. We now have official confirmation that the major power brokers of the sport, the WNBA owners NBC, Universal, and Peacock, have made a calculated move to abandon the WNBA veterans and move forward exclusively with the Caitlin Clark business model. The headline is real. They lost everything. And they didn't lose it because of bad luck. They lost it because their toxic behavior made them unmarketable, unwatchable, and ultimately replaceable. While the veterans sit at home trapped in a bitter labor dispute that could wipe out their season, Caitlin Clark is seated at the head table of the NBA on NBC, laughing with legends, signing massive deals, and becoming the face of basketball in America. The plan to destroy her didn't just fail. It backfired so violently that it erased the relevance of the very people who tried to take her down.
WNBA, NBC, Peacock, they're pushing on and moving on with their promo, regardless if y'all signing this deal or not, because I'm pretty sure they got a contingency plan in place. They have a contingency plan.
You have to understand the sheer magnitude of this shift. NBC and Peacock just signed a massive media rights deal with the NBA and the WNBA. Usually, in a deal like this, the network would spend months promoting the league's history, interviewing veteran players, and building up the legends of the game. But look at what is actually happening. NBC isn't calling Diana Taurasi. They aren't calling Brianna Stewart. They aren't calling the players who spent the last year throwing shade on podcasts. They are calling one person and one person only, Caitlin Clark. They have brought her in as a special contributor for their NBA coverage. This is a deliberate message. NBC executives studied the data. They examined the social media engagement. And most importantly, they looked at the behavior. They saw the cheap shots. They saw the resentment. And they decided they do not want to be in the business of promoting toxic jealousy. They want to be in the business of sunshine, buckets, and ratings. Caitlin Clark represents the future, a positive, high-skill, fan-friendly product. The veterans represent the past, a bitter, gatekeeping, exclusive club that turns on its own fans. NBC made a cold business decision to cut the dead weight, and that dead weight is the entire old guard of the WNBA.
See Sports, what they did is they flexed on them. Okay, they flexed on them. Here it says, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The WNBA is coming to NBC and Peacock. So
let's dig deeper into why this is happening right now. The WNBA owners are locked in a standoff with the Players Association. The players are threatening to strike. They are demanding a 30% revenue share. They are demanding millions of dollars in salary increases. And who is leading this charge? The veterans, the same veterans who refuse to embrace the Caitlin Clark effect. The owners are looking at these demands and laughing. Why? Because they know the truth. They know that without Caitlin Clark, there is no revenue to share. They know that nobody is buying a Peacock subscription to watch the players who shoved Caitlin down. They're buying Peacock to watch Caitlin. So, the owners and the networks have formed an alliance. They have realized that they don't need the WNBA as a collective entity to make money. They only need the Caitlin Clark show. BY giving her this platform on NBC. Independent of the WNBA season, they have insulated their biggest asset from the toxicity of the league. If the veterans decide to strike, fine, let them strike. Caitlin will be on TV every Sunday night breaking down LeBron James. She wins either way. The veterans played a game of chicken with the golden goose, and now they are starving.
Absolute abomination. Nike dropping the ball. Here it says Nike confirmed to Adweek It will not run a commercial during Super Bowl 60 this year, so there won't be a Nike X Caitlin Clark spot during the game. Listen, man, this don't make sense. Caitlin Clark's sneakers are about to drop.
They only care about one thing: acquisition and retention. Who drives subscriptions? Is it the player who complains about charter flights and insults new fans? No, it's the player who drains logo threes and stays humble. Peacock has effectively abandoned the idea of marketing the WNBA as a broad league. Have you seen the promotional material? It is Caitlin-centric. IT is Caitlin-focused. The other players have been pushed into background extras in their own movie. This is the direct result of their nasty tactics. When you spend an entire year telling the world that Caitlin isn't that good or that she needs to wait her turn, you are telling the audience not to care. And guess what? The audience listened. They don't care about the veterans. They only care about the girl they tried to bully. The veterans tried to gatekeep the league, but all they did was lock themselves inside a burning building while Caitlin walked out the front door with the keys to the kingdom. Think about the psychological blow this delivers to the old guard. Imagine being a 10-year veteran, a multi-time champion, and watching NBC fly Caitlin Clark to Madison Square Garden to sit next to Vince Carter and Carmelo Anthony while you sit on your couch wondering if your paycheck will clear this month. IT has to be eating them alive, but it is a wound they inflicted on themselves. If they had welcomed her, if they had mentored her, if they had understood that a rising tide lifts all boats, they would be sitting next to her. They would be landing the endorsement deals. They would be getting the NBC segment, but their egos wouldn't allow it. Their jealousy blinded them. They chose petty grievances over generational wealth. And now NBC has moved on without them. The network has realized that Caitlin Clark transcends the WNBA. She is bigger than the league. She is bigger than the veterans. She is a cultural phenomenon that does not require their permission to exist. The nasty tactics were not just physical. They were systemic. IT was referees swallowing their whistles. IT was coaches making snide remarks in press conferences. IT was legends going on podcasts to downplay her accomplishments. NBC watched all of this. Corporate America watched all of this. And do you know what? Corporate America hates liability. The veterans became a liability. They became bad for business. They turned the WNBA into a soap opera of drama and resentment instead of a celebration of basketball. Caitlin, on the other hand, never said a bad word. She never engaged in the chaos. She just played. She showed up. She signed autographs. She respected the game. NBC is rewarding that professionalism. They are telling the world that character matters. They are validating the fans who defended Caitlin for the last 2 years. This rejection of the vets is a corporate endorsement of Caitlin's character and a corporate condemnation of veteran behavior. And what about the future? This move by NBC and Peacock signals the end of an era. The era of the gatekeeping veteran is over. If you want to be a star in this league now, you have to get on board with a new program. The owners are clearly done coddling players who hold the league back. By empowering Caitlin so visibly, they are stripping power away from the union. The union can threaten to strike all it wants, but if the face of the league is already employed by NBC, their leverage is gone. The owners have found a way to bypass the toxicity. They have built a direct pipeline from Caitlin to the fans, cutting out the bitter middlemen. The veterans are now screaming into the void. They can picket, they can protest, they can post on social media, but they cannot stop the machine. The machine has chosen its driver, and it is the rookie from Iowa. This is a lesson in humility that will be studied for decades. The WNBA veterans held a winning lottery ticket in their hands. All they had to do was cash it. All they had to do was smile and say, "Welcome, Caitlin." Instead, they tore the ticket up and threw it in her face. And now they are watching her print her own money while they beg for scraps. IT is a tragedy of their own making. They lost the media war. They lost the fan war. And now they have lost the financial war. NBC and Peacock have spoken. The owners have spoken. The fans have spoken. The WNBA is no longer a democracy of players. IT is the kingdom of Clark, and for the veterans who used nasty tactics to slow her down, the only thing left to do is fade into obscurity. They tried to cancel Caitlin Clark, but in the end, they only canceled themselves. The revolution will be televised on NBC, and the veterans won't even be invited to watch.